Let's go ahead and call our meeting to order, and I'll ask the board to go ahead and start looking over our minutes. So welcome everyone to this is February meeting of the Design Review Board. The purpose of the board is to review applications for certificates of appropriateness for construction, alteration, demolition, relocation of structures within Aiken's historic districts in an effort to help maintain its historic character. We will be reviewing the minutes here in a few moments, and after we do that, we'll start hearing our different applications. If your application is called, we would like for you to come to the podium and address the board. Please start by giving your name and address, and we'll allow the applicants to speak, and then we'll also see if there's any members from the public that want to speak about each application. And we would ask that the members of the public to limit your comments to 5 minutes if you do decide to come up and speak about an application. Okay. Having said that, do I have any motions on the minutes?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the minutes from the work session and the regular meeting on January the 6th.
I second that, Chairman.
26.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Okay. Any opposed? Sorry, a little hot. Okay, I don't see any. All right. We don't have any old business tonight, so we'll move right to new business, and that will be up to Madam Secretary to introduce the first application.
Item A under new business, application number CERD 26-001042. Applicants Joanne Calhoun and Suzette Circumer are requesting approval to conduct landscape work, install a driveway and walkway, and construct a shed at 227 Williamsburg Street Southeast, tax map parcel 121-10-09-009. The applicant is proposing a horseshoe stone gravel driveway that continues along the right side of the property to the rear yard. Walkways consisting of brick pavers and a herringbone pattern are also proposed along the front and left side of the home. The applicant is further proposing to construct a 9-foot by 12-foot shed in the rear left corner of the property. The shed will be located 10 feet from the rear and side property lines and will be painted a cream color with white trim to match the existing residence. Various vegetation is proposed to be planted on the property as well. This property is located within the Old Aiken Overlay District and is zoned multifamily low-density RML. This property does not have an Aiken Historic Resource Survey card, as the home is a new construction approved in 2023.
Okay. Would you introduce yourself and give us your address?
I'm Joanne Calhoun, and I live at 227 Williamsburg Street, Southeast.
Okay. Thank you for coming, Ms. Calhoun. Is there anything you'd like to tell us about your application other than what was stated by the Secretary?
Well, as you can see, it's a very narrow lot, so we had a lot to do there.
Right.
We have 3 cars, and we did not want to have the property look like a parking lot. And so that is why we thought we would do the circular driveway, which we love because it's so Aiken. We just love the circular driveways, and then go around to the back of the house so that the cars would not show and could be hidden. And then the circular driveway could be used for parking of guests or to turn around, whatever. We also, the front of the house, with the city, most people have parking spaces on the city land, but we cannot do that because they have put in a fire hydrant and a sewer flush out something or other and 4 other things. And so that is really lost to us. All we can do is plant grass, I think, and maybe a few bushes to disguise that. We chose the gravel because we did not want any kind of concrete or asphalt, and we looked up the city guidelines, and they all recommended the gravel, and it's a much softer look. We think that our plan shows a lot of really nice landscaping to go with it and to kind of tone down all the gravel. I guess that's about it.
Okay. Thank you for going over that with us. our guidelines do state that we should minimize paved, and I think that going with the gravel kind of helps with that. And I think we do that for two reasons. One is it's softer, more aesthetically pleasing. And then, of course, the problem with water runoff, if all your whole property is covered in asphalt or concrete or something, you got water issues. So when I'm looking at your plan here on the bottom, it looks like you've got a stone driveway, semicircle driveway, all the way down the back of the house and up where the two cars are and where the one car is. Mm-hmm. And then over in front of your cars that are parked in the back, it looks like you change to a paver stone, and you do that around your little outbuilding and then back up the back side of the house there, going back frontwards again.
Yes, there'll be a patio. That triangle in the front is actually our side screen porch.
Gotcha.
And there will be a small patio there.
Gotcha. And then you'll continue the pavers on around back to the front with the little circle right by the front door.
Very small.
Mm-hmm. And then over to the, okay. I just wanted to make sure I was reading that right. And of course, your plant materials, really pretty. I do want to make sure that that you're not encroaching on any setbacks when you set your building there.
Right.
So
I
just
believe the
be
setback
aware
is
of that.
10 feet
Yeah.
for the shed, and that's what we had incorporated.
Okay. All right.
And I should say that picture that I sent was really awful. We're not doing that.
Okay.
Rebecca said, just send me a picture, go out and take a picture of kind of the size, and that'll be the size of it. But
Okay.
it'll be much nicer than that. It'll have window boxes and shrubs around
Oh,
it.
pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I'll open it up to members of the board that have any questions. Please speak into the
Is there a
mic.
driveway at the house next door?
There is a very short, not yet, but there will be, just long enough to get a car into. So it'll be contiguous with ours, and it just goes up, what is a car, maybe 15 feet?
Okay. Anything else, Katie? All right. Any other board member with questions? Okay. Thank you. And we'll see if there's a member of the public wants to speak about your application. Please be seated.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Calhoun. Okay. Any member of the public want to speak in favor of this application? Please come forward at this time. Any member of the public want to speak against this application? Please come forward. Okay. Thank you. I guess we're ready for a motion, if someone on the board would like to make that. Okay, I'm gonna have to call on somebody.
Oh man, I guess it's me again tonight.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, Mr. Chairman. So on application number CRDH 26-001042, property address 227 Williamsburg Street, Southeast, Texas, parcel number 121-10-0-09-009, and listed in the old Aiken overlay. Find that the landscape plan is in harmony with that specific district. And this is evidence as found on a site design plan. You can find it on page 25 in the old Aiken overlay, 27, and also Exhibit G from our agenda, which discusses new buildings. And that can be found on page 109. Therefore, I find that the project meets the requirements of the specific proposal.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion about this application?
Mr. Chairman, can I talk
Please.
about this application?
Yes.
So, yeah, oh man. So we were talking, I guess I was talking to myself essentially about, I appreciate that the shed is small. It's less than 150 square feet. Anything over 200 square feet, I'd had more concern about it. As long as you met the 10-foot setback, I was fine with it. Crush and run, it can be, in contractual terms, most of the time we think of that as a more industrial product. Like if I was in an industrial zone, but I can see it dressed up looking good. You
One more time, we are probably going to put another type of stone on top, like a pea gravel, that kind of thing,
yes, ma'am.
to make it a little better.
Yeah, that's what I would recommend because crush run is usually what we call a subgrade, and we use that to build up the site. And as the chairman stated explicitly, it's for drainage and just site buildup. But I thought it was a good plan. I thought you had good ideas of plant selection.
Thank you.
And I build on small lots all the time, so I can understand the challenges of a small lot. So kudos to you and good job, man.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
All right, thank you for that. Any other discussion? Okay, we have a motion to approve and a second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. All right, that looks unanimous. So we have no opposed. Thank you very much, Ms. Calhoun. You have your COA. All right, Madam Secretary, would you take us to the next application?
Item B under new business, application number CERH26-024. Applicant Lily Ardrey is requesting approval to install solar panels at 259 Lancaster Street Southwest. Tax map parcel 105-27-08-006. The applicant is proposing 15 roof-mounted solar panels and has provided a site plan to indicate where the proposed panels will be located on the roof. Renew Energy Solutions LLC is proposed to do the work. Each black panel is 44.61 inches by 67.76 inches. This property is located within the Historic Overlay District, specifically Historic District 2, and is zoned single-family RS-15. This property does not have an Aiken Historic Resource Survey card. DRB staff and the Historic Aiken Foundation president reviewed the 2010 Historic Survey, the 1989 Historic Survey, the Historic District Designation application, and other documents. However, we were unable to discover designation status assigned to this property. The Aiken County Assessor's Report lists the construction date as 1992. The application was on the January 6, 2026 DRB regular meeting agenda. However, it was postponed at the request of the property owner. And I believe the owner is here to speak for himself.
Please give us your name and address for the record.
Sure. Thanks again. Name is Stephen Fry. I am the owner of 259 Lancaster Street Southwest. As Rebecca indicated, it's a building from 1992. I own two other properties in the state of South Carolina. Has never had issues with solar panels. One is on Seabrook Island, actually, also. So it is a little surprise to me that we're going through this, but in all due respect, and we'll go through this. As I said, the building was from 1992. To the back of us, we actually have an undeveloped lot. That lot has, so my point is that solar panels will be mostly facing back to that undeveloped lot on the back side. There will be some on the very side of the building, but as you see, we don't even have a sidewalk. So you don't walk by there and say, oh, there's some solar panels out there. Mm-hmm. I do want to indicate that the metal roof that's showing here actually was insufficient and had leaks, and we replaced that with a completely new slate roof, 50-year durability. That was actually under the recommendation also by the installer, who didn't want to go ahead and install on that defaulted roof because it was in such bad condition. The goal is also for the solar panels to actually, from an aesthetic perspective, to blend in with the actual roof. The roof is now charcoal gray, so the black panels will actually fit very well in rather than on a green slate or a green metal roof. Yeah, I mean, there's no sidewalk, so you won't walk by there and say, oh my God, there's solar panels. Mm-hmm. You barely can see them you can't see them from the road unless you really pay attention to it on Lancaster Street, going down Lancaster Street. Yeah, I think that's about it. We're only talking 15 panels. I already own a property with 43 panels on it, and that is completely covering the roof. That's a separate project. This is very minor. Granted the size of this.
Yeah. And this hasn't been the first time someone's asked to do solar panels in the historic district. So, and we expect as we move more energy efficient to get more of those in the future. So we don't think you're an abnormality at all. And so I appreciate your comments about Seabrook. I do feel compelled to point out that you also have to have permission to change your roof color or material. So
an
at this
oversight.
point, I would like to ask if you're willing to amend your application for a slate, whatever color, gray.
Yeah, charcoal gray, yeah.
Or would you be okay with amending your application to
Yes.
also ask for that approval at the same time?
Yes,
Okay.
that's fine.
Thank you. All right. I don't really have any questions for Mr. Fry. Does anyone else have any questions? Okay. All right. Well, we'll see if any member of the public wants to comment.
Thanks.
All right. So I'll ask if there's any member of the public interested in commenting in favor of this application. Anyone want to speak opposed? All right. Seeing none, I'll ask someone on the board to make a motion and please include the comment about the roof replacement with the slate gray roof as well. Any takers?
All right, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, you might.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah. So with respect to application number CERH 26-024, I move that we approve the installation of the solar panels as requested and the change of the roof color to charcoal because the solar panels will be in harmony with the new roof color and they will not be seen from the street. And we have approved in the past solar panels on other historic houses, including one right in the neighborhood. And I also move that the applicant not be required to request the status that is non-contributing of his property because that would not make a difference to us in this application.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll second it.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Yeah.
One question.
Yeah.
You said that you changed the roof. Did you say you had put slate up there?
Yes.
Okay. Because there are some manufacturers of asphalt shingles or.
Oh, did I say slate?
Oh.
I'm sorry. It's asphalt shingles.
Okay.
I am so sorry. Yeah, I meant to say that.
All right.
Actually, so originally, the metal roof was actually built on top of asphalt shingles.
Okay.
And it had leaks all. It was bad condition.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was
But
getting
now,
ready to say that
50
would be that'd be an engineering nightmare to put.
No.
that on
I'm
top of
sorry. It was
slate.
my
Okay.
asphalt
all right.
shingles. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, there was a question or concern that you addressed in the previous meeting room 315. I think it was stated that you had a slate roof, and I looked at you and said slate roof for $12,000. I was about to say I need that subcontractor, but I'm just joking. Yeah, but I was confused when you said that. But I'll tell you this: as I was reviewing the application with that metal roof, it looked like it was exposed fasteners. That's what we call it. There was a grave concern. I did my research, and it was for the Department of Interior stated that viewability from the street. And in our previous meeting on the record, you mentioned that it was minutely to not viewable to the street. So I was definitely okay with that. I do think that at some point in time, Mr. Chairman, we may have to update our documentation that we go by, whether it be the design review manual or the old Aiken manual, overlay manual, to reflect solar panels, because I didn't see anything in it about that.
Okay. Thank you. Any further comments or questions? Okay. We have a motion for approval for the panels and for the replacement roof. And a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All those opposed? I think that's unanimous, so thank you very much. Your CO is credited. Thanks for coming. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Item C, under new business, application number CERH24-057, Amendment 3. Applicants Jeff and Marie Smith are requesting approval to amend the height of the previously approved wall at 408 South Boundary Avenue Southeast. Tax map parcel 121-09-06-007. The applicant received approval for a 3-foot, 8-inch wall surrounding the property that raises to a height of 5 feet, 10 inches around the pool, and Certificate of Appropriateness number CERH24-057. However, as the zoning official was reviewing the work, he determined that the height of the new wall exceeded the heights approved in the certificate. Therefore, the applicant is now requesting that the board approve the existing taller wall heights. The applicants have cited a need to conduct grading work as the reason for the difference in height. Extra dirt had to be put into the yard near the pool in order to permit proper grading and drainage. As such, the grade level on the interior of the wall is higher, and the wall measures shorter on the interior of the wall than it does on the exterior. Additional dirt has also been placed along the exterior of the wall to provide support. The zoning official measured the wall and notated the existing heights on a site plan. At the corner of Union and South Boundary, the shorter section of wall measures 5 feet 5 inches and tapered to 4 feet 6 inches closer to the South Boundary pedestrian gate. The column to the right of the pedestrian gate measures 5 feet 6 inches. The next column, which is meant to start the taller section of the wall, measured 7 feet 1 inch. The following corner column measured 6 feet 9 inches, and the wall then tapered to 6 feet, 5 feet 9 inches, 5 feet 6 inches, and finally 5 feet 7 inches at the last corner column. The shorter section of wall was approved to be 3 feet 8 inches, and the taller section of wall 5 feet 10 inches in the last approved certificate of appropriateness. The wood fence in the rear of the property was approved at 6 feet in height. However, the fencing along the rear property line measured at 7 feet 8 inches, and the fencing along the side property line measured at 6 feet 7 inches. The contractors explained to staff that the fence would be lowered to comply with the 6-foot requirement after grading in that section of the yard was completed. This property is located in the Historic Overlay District, specifically Historic District 2, and is zoned RS-15 single family. The Aiken County Assessor's website lists the construction date of the primary structure as 1963 and the construction date for the accessory building as 2017. This property does not have a Historic Resource Survey card. DRB staff and the Historic Aiken Foundation president reviewed the 2010 Historic Survey, the 1989 Historic Survey, the Historic District Designation application, and other documents. However, we were unable to discover a designation status assigned to this property. Previous practice has been for properties without a survey card to be considered non-contributing, and the property was reviewed as a non-contributing property during the review of Certificate of Appropriateness application CERH24-057. However, after review and suggestions from legal counsel, the board has determined it is more appropriate to consider these properties as not having a designation. If the board determines that a designation is required to review a Certificate of Appropriateness application, then the board may begin the process or ask the property owner to begin the process of determining a designation. Zoning Ordinance Section 4.1.4.c, Fences and Walls in Residential State Districts, states in the area between the plane of the front of the building and any street, no fence or wall shall exceed 4 feet in height except where a higher fence conforming to these regulations exists on a common property line of an adjacent lot, in which case the proposed fence may be no higher than that fence. No fence or wall on any other portion of the lot may exceed 6 feet in height. However, Zoning Ordinance Section 4.1.4.d states that the Design Review Board shall have the authority to permit a fence or wall in a historic district up to a height of 12 feet. And I believe our applicants are here to represent themselves.
Please introduce yourself and give us your address.
Thank you. My name is Jeff Smith, and I'm the resident at 408 South Boundary, Southeast. You guys are probably well aware of it by now. Yeah, I just wanted to just put some context into this. At the moment that these pictures were taken by the city inspector, we were still in the process of doing the grading, so a lot of these measurements, if you were to measure today, are much different. When the board approved the heights of the fences, that is exactly what we have on the interior of the fences because of all the grading we had to do. Subsequently, on the outside, when you measure it to the sidewalk, it creates a delta or a difference between what the inside of the wall is and what the outside of the wall is. And so For that reason, we are approaching the board to ask for approval for an amendment to allow the heights as they are currently built. I don't know if we have more pictures, but one of the concerns I remember we discussed when we came through here a year ago or so was whether or not the wall would allow visibility of the house. And I think you can see in some of these pictures, all of the front windows, door, still have good visibility from south boundary. And then when it comes to the wooden fence in the back, the height at which that wooden fence joins into the brick fence, which is off center here, is at 7 feet. And then to kind of conform with the harmony of the area, we decided to continue it as a straight line. So as it goes to the back, it does get a little bit above 6 feet. But we thought that it would be more harmonious than having a step down wall as it went all the way down. So on the other side of that fence is about a 25-foot wall of bamboo. And there are some pictures in the application that shows from the neighboring property that this fence is completely invisible. So.
Thank you for those additional comments. I'd ask if there's any member of the board who has any questions for the applicant.
Yeah, I got a question as it relates to that wood fence, because as I was reading through the application, it mentions explicitly that the wood fence in the rear property was approved at a height of 6 feet, blah, blah, blah. However, the fence along rear property measures 7 feet 8 inches, and the fencing along the property, side property, measured at 6'7". Contractor explained to staff that the fence would be lowered to comply with 6 feet requirement after grading. So basically, what are you saying? You're going to take about 13 inches of dirt and put it up against that fence and cause rot later on?
Well, no, it's not going to rot because actually the way that if you saw those pictures with all the drainage, all of the drainage of the property was designed
Is a way for it?
All to go away from the fence, correct?
Okay. All right. That was the only consideration I had.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of consideration has been put into the drainages as these pictures probably, and I'm sure the public has been curious as to what all this is going in here, bomb shelters, whatever, but no, it's actually all water retention. So it's to keep water from going onto neighboring properties.
Okay. Any other questions for the applicant? All right. And what we're probably going to do is we will vote on an amendment to your previous approval. Okay. But I do think, because what Rebecca pointed out about not having a designation, it might be in your best interest to pursue some designation for future reference with city council.
Understood.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Please have a seat, and we'll see if anybody else wants to speak in favor of this application. Does anyone want to speak opposed to this application? All right. Seeing none, we will. We're ready to entertain a motion from the board.
Mr. Chairman, can I have permission to make a motion, sir?
Please do.
All right, on application number CERH24-057, Amendment 3, property located in the Historic Overlay District, 408 South Boundary Avenue Southeast, tax map parcel number 121-09-06-07. I find that the fence, I move that the fence should be allowed. I understand that sometimes dirt is not our friend, and it's all about perception. As it has been documented that the fence, short section of the wall measured 5'5" inches. South boundary pedestrian gate, column to the right pedestrian gate 5 foot 6 inches. Next column, tallest section 7'1", following column measuring 6 feet 9 inches, and the wall tapers to 5 feet 9 inches, 5 feet 6 inches, and finally 5'7". I could relate this back to our design review manual, where it talks about fences and landscaping, and the board having the ability to approve fences up to 12 feet in height.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the board?
Yes, I would like to make a discussion, sir. Have a discussion if you allow me to, sir. I understand dirt can be tricky. Site work is typically one of the more important things on a project. But we like to get it right the first time, but we don't like to penalize individuals that try to do the right thing. We don't want to set the precedence that we accept anything. The house is viewable from the street. I would say as a builder, I probably would have done the same thing. I mean, you're fighting against the terrain. You're fighting against the topography. You really can't change it. And you have to typically make water go where you want it to go. And so I'm very understanding of this, but we definitely don't want to set the precedence that, cause whatever the plans say, that's typically what we expect, but we're understanding of it, but we definitely don't want to set the precedence that it's okay to build a wall, come back later and say, oh, well, measures 7 feet, but y'all approve 6. Got to play by the same rules. But I'm very understanding. Can't speak for my board members, but I'm definitely very understanding of it.
Thank you for your comments.
You're quite welcome, sir.
Anyone else?
Well said.
I am frustrated with people who come back and ask permission after the fact, but things do happen on job sites, and I think, and you were very eloquent with that. So, hearing no further discussion, I'll ask that all in favor raise your right hand. All those opposed? I don't see any, so it was unanimous. Thank you, gentlemen. Okay, that looks like that concludes our agenda for tonight,
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we adjourn.
I second it.
and I'll be happily to approve that. Yeah, all in favor? Motion approved. We're adjourned.